roadmap, we're showcasing a unique buy one, give one deal. Samuel Bistrian combines fashion and philanthropy with his company, ROMA Boots. For each pair of rain boots purchased, ROMA Boots donates a second pair with stuffed school supplies to a child in need. The company partners with organizations like the Red Cross and World Vision to help kids on 4 continents. ROMA Boots founder and CEO Samuel Bistrian joins me on this week's edition of Doing Good. Thank you so much for joining us. I mean, I want to start off asking, where did you get the idea of ROMA Boots? What's the concept behind it?
Well, ROMA Boots is a socially conscious buy one, give one company, as you mentioned. I actually started ROMA Boots after meeting Blake Makowski, the founder of Tom's, while working at Neiman Marcus. So he made the one-for-one movement popular, where you buy a pair, you donate a pair, and that's pretty much how ROMA Boots got started.
So you bring up that point of comparing it to Tom's. What would be the immediate difference between what Tom's is doing and what you're doing?
Well, I guess I would have to go back into my background. I grew up in Romania in a small village with a large family, 11 siblings, and I actually received my first pair of rain boots when I was 6 years old that were handed down from my older siblings, and they made such an impact in my life that I remember that moment vividly. And so when I was a communism felon, we had the opportunity to come to the United States as refugees, and we always felt indebted to give back. And when I met Blake, I realized he wasn't making rain boots. I was thinking, what about the cold and wet climates? I knew how essential footwear were because I knew how essential they were for me when I was young. And so at that time, he was only doing canvas shoes. And so I felt like there was a vacuum there that had to be filled, and I left Neiman Marcus with $5,000, $40,000 in credit card debt, and started ROMA Boots.
So, but let's be clear about this. ROMA Boots is it is for a profit company in the sense that you guys want to sell shoes, and then when somebody buys shoes, you donate or you give a pair.
That's correct.
To somebody else in another country. It's not just purely a charitable organization.
No, so it's a sustainable way, right, to treat not just the symptoms, but the root of a problem that we see around the world.
So what have been some of the challenges for you in starting a company like this in terms of trying to get people on board with this giving one-for-one model?
Well, I don't think that that was a challenge to get people on board. I think the challenge was that I didn't have the funding, so I was basically operating more on passion and feeling a sense of purpose. We would send clothing and shoes to Romania every year, again, to have the opportunity to move to the United States, where any individual can become anything and that they want. I felt a sense of duty, a sense of moral obligation. And so the challenges were more that I was working at Neiman Marcus to pay the bills, and I left a good paying job, and I had 2 daughters and a wife I had to take care of. So I didn't have the funding, but ROMA Boots has been a labor of love. So from the very beginning.
So how many countries have you guys? How many countries are you working in right now?
22 countries actually, where we're donating boots.
Incredible. And so give us a sense of the scope of how many boots you're making and donating in terms of volume and.
So the first 3 years were just an experiment with ROMA. I set out to make boots, sell boots, and give boots away. And so, again, as I was saying, it was just a labor of love. We had many people that were involved, that were from somebody that built our website, to models, to anybody that was involved did it as a gift. And then we decided to launch at Market last year, and that's where we've seen the biggest difference, where we're now donating thousands of boots, selling thousands of boots. We just launched in New York, so ROMA Boots is now available here in New York as well. We're in about 300 stores throughout the U.S., and we're just launching internationally as well.
And where do you take the project next? Are you just going to focus on boots? I mean, I know it's been a challenge to constantly evolve. Certainly from a business perspective, you want to have new products and new lines of products. Where are you guys going next with ROMA Boots?
I think we want to be recognized as a boot company, right? But the next 5 years, we're really going to be developing our international distribution, but we're also going to be focusing more on our learning centers through our nonprofit. So the first 5 years, we really wanted to try it out, see how it works, and it totally took us by surprise. But I think in the next 5 years, we're really going to see more of the learning centers being developed where 80% of the kids that we donate boots to do not know how to read and write. So again, we want to be able to treat the root of the problem and help them break out of the cycle of poverty.
And very quickly, what's the best way people can help? Is it simply buying a pair of Roma boots, or is it actually trying to do something with the organization and the school supplies?
Yeah, there's many ways to get involved. I would say you could start by buying a pair of boots at romaboots.com or in one of the retailers around the country that sell the boots. But moreover, I think you can come on a boot drop with us and really experience the joy of giving something as simple as a pair of boots to someone that literally transformed their lives. And I think that's really the biggest impact that you can experience and the biggest blessing.
Samuel Bistrian, I got to tell you, I really could have used a pair of those Roma boots this winter with the way things were in New York City, and hopefully it'll kind of stop raining a little bit for us to enjoy some nice weather. But thank you very much. Keep up all the amazing work that you and Roma Boots are doing, and we wish you continued success.
And thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure, anytime. And that's going to be it for this edition of Roadmap. Thank you to all of you for watching, and thank you for sending us your comments and feedback. We certainly appreciate it. We're on every Wednesdays at 10 a.m. here on Shift, and you can catch clips of our segments on msnbc.com/roadmap. We'll see you next week.